Greetings! Thank you for lending an ear to the Voice of the Times for Sunday, February 6, 2022, brought to you by Wilkin Depot, the country's leading home improvement and construction supplies retailer. Shop conveniently 24/7 with the Wilkin online store. Just go to shop.wilkin.com.ph. For today's editorial, hybrid system can restore transparency in elections. The proposal to adopt hybrid elections deserves serious consideration because of its promise to make the polls more transparent without sacrificing speed. Admittedly, this is too late for the 2022 elections, but perhaps the new government to be elected will consider this in the future. Speed is the main attraction of the automated election system at present that uses counting machines in precincts. Unfortunately, transparency was sacrificed. Granted, the current system is superior to the old ways that took weeks, sometimes longer, to count and tally votes nationwide. The automated system, however, was controversial from the onset. Had it not been for the comfortable victory margins of the winning candidates for president, beginning with the late Benigno Aquino III in 2010, the system might have seen more pushback. The hybrid alternative failed to gather support, perhaps because it was misunderstood. The mere mention of doing any part manually turned off people, even though the idea was to shift the automation to canvassing. The word hybrid was used only later to describe the alternative of manually counting at the precincts and automating the canvassing. Proponents of this hybrid option argue that the presence of poll watchers at the precincts is a vital safeguard against cheating, but there is little to see when machines count the ballots. Every candidate, from local to national, recruits poll watchers to man precincts, but there are far fewer eyes on the canvassing, particularly when handling the memory cards of those counting machines. Besides the absence of watchers, canvassing also takes time, as precinct results are consolidated, tallied, and transmitted to a central location. To many, this is the vulnerable part of the system at present. For the proponents of the hybrid option, it makes more sense to automate the canvassing, the part that takes the longest time to complete. Doing so reduces opportunities for mischief. Granted, manual counting in precincts will take longer, but not by much when they are ungrouped. In the current system, precincts are clustered to minimize the counting machines needed to be bought or leased. Even then, the automated system that uses counting machines costs billions of pesos. The hybrid system, which requires computers, routers, and other ordinary equipment, will only cost around 300 million pesos, according to Augusto Gus Lagman. He is not only a proponent of this system, but also president of the National Movement for Free Elections, or NAMFREL. He was also a Commission on Elections, or COMELEC commissioner, appointed by the past president who dropped him during the impeachment trial of the late Chief Justice Renato Corona. For disclosure, we should also mention that Mr. Lagman occasionally writes opinion pieces for this newspaper. In any case, Mr. Lagman noted that the hybrid system should save the government more money besides the acquisition costs. There will be no need to store them for the next polls like the counting machines now in use. The computers employed in the hybrid system could be sold or donated to public schools after each election. And for subsequent elections, the government simply buys the latest computers in the market. In that way, the COMELEC gets to use new computers in every poll, and then public schools can enjoy them afterwards. On their own, public schools, especially those in remote and depressed areas, find it difficult to acquire new computers, much less upgrade them every few years. Returning to the elections, automating the most vulnerable and time-consuming part of the process makes sense. Even with manual counting at the precincts, the entire system should still be fast by any standard. Recently, Mr. Lagman also mentioned that the election returns should be uploaded to a public website. This would add another layer of transparency and protection. He conceded that cheating would still be possible, but limited to the retail level, perhaps through vote buying. But he added that the hybrid system would do better against wholesale fraud. Of course, no system is perfect, especially when stakes are high. But any system that combines speed and transparency should be revisited often, at least until something even better comes along. And that's the editorial for Sunday, February 6, 2022. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to its digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and listen to the Voice of the Times.